Hello students. I hope you are enjoying your stream, which you've taken after a meticulous thinking in class 10th that whether to go in for science, humanities, or commerce. Now that you are here in this stream, be rest assured that there are a large number of opportunities which are waiting for you after you finish off your graduation, your masters. You can get into banking, you can get into insurance, you can get into teaching, and many more. And the most important and the most successful, rather I should say, is becoming an entrepreneur. That is, starting something of your own. That is what we teach you, that what a business is all about. And that's the best occupation that one can get into. Now coming to this point, what is business? What is the basic understanding of you all of the term business? एक जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, बिजनेस मतलब सस्ते में खरीदो और महंगा बेचो, उसके बीच का जो मार्जिन है वो अपनी जेब में डालो. दैट इज योर प्रॉफिट. दिस इज एन लेमन्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द वर्ड बिजनेस, which is very correct. Business is derived from the word being busy. So we can say that being busy is business. But in finer terms, if I am to define what business is, it is an occupation which include all activities, which are connected with production or procurement of goods for sale, and adding a profit margin to that and selling it to the customers for the satisfaction of their needs. The most important point what I'm going to stress over here is satisfaction of customers' needs. Business at all points of time has to aim at profit maximization, but through the satisfaction of the customer needs and wants. Now, coming to the different characteristics of a business activity. The first one, it should be an economic activity. Business necessarily has to be an economic activity. Now, what is an economic activity? Any activity which gives you a monetary return is called as an economic activity. Now, if your mother is cooking food for you at home, she's cooking it out of love and affection, right? That my child is hungry, I need to cook food for him. Whatever you want, she cooks for you. But she's doing it out of love and affection for you, right? But then at the same time, if she starts off a dabba service, wherein she's supplying tiffin to different offices at their lunch hours, and she's charging some money for it. Let's say she's giving a tiffin for $150. Is she doing it out of love and affection? No. She's doing it because she's aiming at earning profit. Cost पड़ी उनको सब खाना बनाने की 70 rupees, 80 rupees. उसके ऊपर अपना profit margin लगाया, transportation cost लगाया, 150 में जाके उसको बेचा. Right? So here, although the activity is the same, she's cooking. But she's cooking with a different objective in mind, right? So the same activity can be economic and can be non-economic at the same time. Difference कहाँ से आता है? With what objective are you performing that activity? Clear? I am a teacher, right? I'm teaching my own daughter. Fine. I'm teaching her accountancy. I'm teaching her business studies on daily basis. But am I teaching her am I looking for some kind of return? Yes, maybe yes. I'm looking forward to her performing very well. But if I open a tuition center of mine, right, and there I'm delivering lectures, I'm doing the same job, but I'm charging money for that. So wherever this monetary factor comes into picture, that activity becomes an economic activity. So for any activity to be termed as a business activity, it necessarily has to be an economic activity. Thereafter, coming to the next part, that is production. Now, whatever product you are going to sell, whatever product am I going to sell, I have to manufacture that product. Either I manufacture it myself or I am going to import it from somewhere and then further sell it. Right? Maybe let's say if I talk about manufacturing computers, fine. I have my own assembly line over here. I manufacture myself. That is one part. Another is that I get the monitor from somewhere else, I get the CPU from somewhere else, and I get other devices A, B, C from different sources, and I assemble it at one place and then further resell it, right? So definitely, second thing, what necessarily has to be there is production or procurement of goods with a purpose to sell it further. That is very important. That is with a purpose to sell it further. You are procuring your goods or you are manufacturing your goods, but the purpose, the main objective of doing both of these is to further sell it to the customer, again for a price. Third part, what comes in here is sale and exchange of goods and services for money. You have produced or you have manufactured the product, or else you've procured it from somewhere else. Now the next step is that I have to launch it in the market. I have to offer it for sale. I have to offer it for sale, and my offer has to be accepted by the customer. My offer has to be accepted. If there is an offer, there has to be an acceptance. Otherwise, the offer's got no meaning. Right? So there has to be sale and exchange of goods and services for money. I am not going to give it for free. If I'm giving it for free, if I'm doing it on charity basis, then that is not business. Then that is not business. You have to, if you are selling it for value, for some money, you're looking at some monetary return, all right, then it is going to constitute a business activity. Coming to the next part, regularity in dealings, very important. I have an old car, okay, and I had this car, let's say, गाड़ी मेरे पास 5-6 साल से है, फाइन. मैं अपनी गाड़ी बेची मार्केट में, ठीक है, और मेरे को पैसे मिल गए उसके. नाउ इट इज वेरी मच एन इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. क्यों? मुझे पैसे मिल रहे हैं अपनी गाड़ी बेचने के लिए. बट दिस इज नॉट अ बिजनेस एक्टिविटी. व्हाई? Am I doing it on daily basis? Am I into the business of sale and purchase of cars? No. Another example. मैंने अगर अपनी गाड़ी बेची, मैंने भी उतने ही पैसे के लिए बेची, right? And there is another dealer, right, who deals in sale and purchase of second-hand cars. For him, it will constitute a business activity, but for me, it is not a business activity. Why? Because I am doing it as a one-time act. I am doing it as a one-time act, whereas he is doing it on a regular basis. So it is very important that if only a transaction is being done on regular basis, it becomes a business transaction. If it's a one-time transaction, it is not to be considered as a business transaction. Next part, profit earning. Again, we say that the business comes into being with the main objective of maximization of profit, right? Like I gave you this example of starting off with a tiffin service. I said the cost of making one tiffin comes out to be 50 rupees, right? If I am going to sell this to the customer at 50 only, so where am I gaining? Where am I gaining? Why am I doing all this? I am doing this, I am getting into this business of cooking food and delivering tiffins to different offices because I look at earning profit out of this activity. I look at making profit from selling tiffins to the office people, right? So if an activity is, if and only if an activity is undertaken with the main objective of earning profit, it is to be termed as a business activity. If profit maximization is not, if it is not the main objective, you are doing it for charity, then it is not a business activity at all. Next, there is always an element of risk. हम जब भी बिजनेस करते हैं, हमें कभी श्योर शॉट नहीं होता कि इसके लिए डिमांड होगी. You anticipate that this product that I'm launching in the market, maybe I'm able to create a demand for that. Maybe I'm able to create a demand for that. So there is a lot of a risk that the entrepreneur always has to undertake. And be rest assured, one always gets the return for the risk. We say that higher the risk, higher is the return. So you have to be a risk taker to be an entrepreneur. You got to take risks. Only then will you get the reward. Thereafter, coming to the business has to be legal and lawful. Let us say that if I enter into this, I am selling these drugs. Okay. I'm into the business. I say that I am selling drugs to XYZ for a certain price. This is an economic activity. मैं पैसे ले रही हूँ, ठीक है, उससे मेरे को प्रॉफिट भी हो रहा है, मैं रेगुलर बेसिस पे भी कर रही हूँ, ये सारे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स फुलफिल हो रहे हैं. इट्स एन इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. आई एम प्रोक्योरिंग दीज ड्रग्स फ्रॉम एल्सवेयर टू फर्दर सेल इट, right? Then there is sale and exchange. I'm selling it to someone for some amount of money. Then regularity in dealings. I'm doing it on regular basis, right? Then I'm earning profit out of this activity. Then there is element of risk कि कोई खरीदे या ना खरीदे, हो सकता है कोई ड्रग एडिक्ट बने, कोई ना बने. But is this act legal? Is this act lawful? A big no. So therefore, this is not a business activity. You can't say that I am into the business of selling drugs. No, it's an illegal activity. So last but not the least, this is also one of the most important factors, that whatever business that you are entering into, it has to be correct in the eyes of law.